Hello, how are you doing? Today I want to share something very, very useful for all of us. It is how the mind works under pressure, how the mind understands a situation where we feel the pressure, we feel the rushing of ideas, and sometimes it can block us. Well, pressure can come from many angles, can come from raising up our kids in the work, dealing with past wounds, for example. How can we engage with this process, preserving the peace and the calm? Well, it's the way the mind resonates or the reasoning of the mind. The mind comes from the past, which is evolution. So we have been through many stages in life where the mind had to survive. So the mind creates a defensive mechanism which is based on what sounds familiar, what can be risky or not. And sometimes the mind, especially the left side of the brain, which is more likely to solve problems, more prone to logic, reasoning. So when we find ourselves in a state of pressure, we instantly use the left side of the brain, which is, I need to solve this. I need to get out of this. And this comes from the past. It's kind of an heritage that we all have in us. That when something is especially new to us, we feel powerless. We feel blocked. So, a good way to see this is amplifying the context, understanding that life is like if you stand up in front of, let's say, a big avenue or a motorway, and we just watch, we will see cars going and coming. So if we want to only look at one car, one particular vehicle, it will be difficult for us because at some point it goes. We cannot follow it for a while. Why? Because it will disappear. So the same thing happens when we have an event. It's very useful for us to say this is transitory. It's not that it's going to pass, it's that right now it is in front of us. So we try not to change what is happening. We try not to fix what is happening. We try to become one with it. We try to understand it. We try to transcend it. I'm a huge fan of amplifying the context. Why? Because what today can be very stressful, tomorrow we can be celebrating it. We can be saying, oh wow, I'm glad this happened. In fact, 99% we end up being grateful for the very thing, the same thing that we were struggling with. Why? Because the context has changed. We have amplified the context. So to give you an example, when we raised up kids, it becomes overwhelming because obviously they have feelings, we have feelings. They vibrate as energies, we vibrate as energies. So if we live in a house and we have multiple energies flowing, at some point we can sense the pressure, the block. And sometimes the pain comes from not understanding, from resisting wanting to understand. So a visual thing is if I have a son or a daughter that she just goes into rage and I put in the first place the question, why is this happening to me? Why is he acting like this? I am blocking the understanding. I am blocking the context. I am taking myself to a corner where it is very difficult for me to understand because it's not like I'm playing the victim. It's just I'm just feeling powerless. I have no understanding of this and I cannot understand it. Now, when we give it a context, large context would be okay, this is not personal. First, she's projecting what is going on. Now, I want to understand. It will be easy for you to come from intuition and see maybe it's time to face this, maybe it's not time because I right now, it's very hot, very warm, and maybe I have multiple options to approach this. So what seems like ignoring is taking space to deal with it. So I have a son or I have a daughter, they're going to rage or they want something now or they are crying or I can't even have a shower because my daughter is crying, she wants this. From a broad context, from understanding that right now this is what I have and it's not personal, you amplify the context. You are not refusing to be responsible with what is happening. In fact, you are being responsible, but in a way that you can preserve the expansion. Another example is in my work. Everybody is demanding me something, everybody wants something from me all at once at the same time. It happens a lot. It seems like everything has to be done quickly. Well, I'll ask myself, am I accepting this? Because sometimes unconsciously we tend to accept things that is not about making sense. They are not fruitful for us. So if I have a job where everybody wants from me something, it is not fruitful for me to think I can give it to them. So delegating sometimes is a good option. Sharing and being open to communicate with the person. Listen, I know you want this, but can we find other options? Can we delegate this to another department? Can we postpone this for another time? You have the space, you come from a peaceful state where you have options and the resources can be open. This is when we shift to the left hemispheric of the brain, which is much more intuitive, analogic, it connects. So many questions or many answers can become easily when we try to use the left side of the brain. Pragmatically is when we try to see the whole context, to understand that life is a context with a sequence of contents, of events. So you wake up at 6, you go to bed at 10. That's the context of the day. During the day, you have content. When you were driving, when you stop, when you had lunch, when you have a siesta, when you did your training, when you did your dinner, all of those are the contents of the context of the day. So we cannot measure the day because of what happens between 1 and 2. The day is the whole sequence. From when we wake up, or better, 24 hours is the context. Now, if I want to understand the day, I will see the whole compounding of the sequences, which will show me if I went to my bed and I'm knackered, it's because of the compounding of everything that happens. So when we feel pressure, let's remember that that is a content of the context of our life. So if I'm dealing with pressure, I will reframe it. I will relinquish it. I will try to see what I'm resisting. In my case, when I was in Spain, I was studying as a policeman and we have to do a requirement and application. It takes 3 months. The environment I was, everybody was rushing, everybody wants to finish it, everybody was projecting the fear of maybe this will not work, maybe something is missing, I will get rejected. Why? Because the focus was on the content. The context is, okay, what's the problem? If I'm rejected, I can apply again. If something happens, I will learn. If something is missing, I will understand. So you amplifying the context, and just thinking that way, you preserve your peace. There is no pressure. So for me, it was less than 3 months. For others, it was like a year. Why? Because when we resist, it extends. So pressure sometimes comes from we extending the resistance. We are extending the left brain, which is I want to solve this, I need to solve this. It has to be done. Hold on 1 second. Am I accepting that this is the only way? Am I accepting that these are the rules that I need to apply? Am I ignoring the context? That will help you to be grounded. Once we are raising kids, it is not easy. Why? Because kids always, sometimes they act as a mirror. They are reflecting back what we project on them. And also they're humans, don't get me wrong. No matter what age they have, there are already energies evolving, expanding, expressing, unfolding. So we try not to take things personal. We try to understand that they are part of the context of life. So you get immune to depend on external vibes for you in order for you to be okay. So pressure is like stress. It's the verbalization or the communication I have with myself. The way I interpret myself is what is going on. So why should I have pressure when there is a whole context? Why should I have pressure when there is many pathways to take with this? Why should I have pressure when the reason is that I don't understand, I don't feel like I am at home? So let me come back again to my essence. Let me land again in my peace. So I'll ask you one question. What gives you pressure? What stresses you? How do you speak to yourself in those moments? Do you ask for more? Do you demand yourself more? Do you try to slow down? Is there any gap or space where something can emerge to allow you to stop? Because when we stop, it seems like we are losing, but we are repairing. Remember, at some point you have to fill petrol. You have to stop the car. At some point we have to take the car to the garage. At some point we have to go to bed. So sometimes stopping is the smartest move we can make. Let me ask you something. Do you practice any kind of exercise? Daily exercises? Why? Because it's a very good way to decompress. Now, it's very difficult to get used to exercise if you don't feel connection with it. Life is about connection. Life is about presence. Life is about instant bundle feeling. So if I don't connect when I'm running, I am not going to choose to go and run, even if you say it's good for my health. If when I go for a walk, I cannot go out without my phone because I don't find the pleasure of walking or the meaning, I will not go for a walk. If I go to the gym and I don't find the motivation, I have no, let's say, horizon, direction, I have no goal, no meaning, I will not go to the gym. If you tell me to eat good food, what is good food? Maybe what is good for you is not good for me because I'm not connecting. So we connect with everything. You connect with the diet, with the food. Not because you want to look good or you want to preserve health, because you connect with it. So you have the foods are also energies. You have this is very useful, and I will share this with you because I've been doing this all my life and it works. See how you feel after every digestion, every intake of food. See how you feel. Even if you drink water, drinking water slowly It sounds trivial, but you will feel something different. Remember, just when you start to drink, remind yourself to slow down. You will feel different. After every meal, you will feel how the energy of, let's say, eating salad and fruits, different types of fruits, watermelon, for example, strawberries, you will feel the energy. For example, when you eat pizza, when you eat fries, when you eat industry food, you will feel the energy. So, what makes you stick to a diet and making it funny is that you connect with the food. You don't eat it because of obligation, you eat it because you love it. Because just thinking about it, just eating it, you are connecting. So let's try to bring that present in any realm. This is extractable in anything in life. So if you want to do some exercise, I will invite you to connect with something. And as much as you can daily, if you can block 20 minutes for you with something that you like, yoga, stretching, running, swimming, playing with your animals, even playing with the dog, moving yourself. You find a hill where you can go and run, jumping, making some exercise at home. Those kind of things, when you connect with it, when the pressure comes, we have more resources. Remember, everything is connected. There is nothing here that doesn't serve a purpose. A mistake is serve a purpose. Someone does something and the impact, whatever is fruitful or not, is serve a purpose. The death of something is serve a purpose. The birth is serve a purpose. Everything has a message. So to finish this triangle, which the center is your peace, which is the absence of pressure in your daily life, the first thing I will invite you is to expand the context. To remember your life is a context. Any event that goes into your life is like a book. The whole book will explain what is going on, but any page is part of the book. So all is equally important. Now, I might miss a page in a book and I will still get the message. Yes, that's the context. So one single move of your life can change the whole direction. Now, to decompress the pressure, to land, to be grounded, I will see the triangle of my life: body, mind, and spirit. Remember, the body will express what is going on in the mind. If I'm nervous, you see someone walking and you say, oh, he's nervous. He's expressing what is going on in his mind. When someone is calm, oh, wow, this person is very calm. He's expressing what is going on in the mind and the presence of the spirit, of the soul. So let's try to bring the soul always present. The soul will drive the car of your life, which is the God in you, the universe in you, the light in you. Let's bring it present. That's the context. You are life. Okay? Please share. Be generous with yourself. So give the mind spaces. Drink slow water. Touch the ground. Block some hours in the day for you to reflect, even if it's trivial. When you are reflecting, you are grounding. You are training the mind to expand, to create resources, to stay under pressure because he knows that he's going to extract and relinquish it in your advantage. Sport, please find something that connects with you, that you find the instant joy. Why? Because when you nourish the body, doing sport is powerful more than we think because it's an investment and it pays very well. Trust me. I'm doing sport from when I was 6 years old. And my office has always been when I'm doing sport. If I have to deal, think, analyze, reflect, is when I'm doing sport. Even if I'm swimming, I'm running, I'm hiking, whatever sport I'm doing, that's my office. And guess what? I have no space to be angry. I have no space to feel resentment. Why? Because I'm doing sport and the space is already changing. It's changing the energy. So what seems like something that pisses me off, once I'm running, the context is changing. I'm seeing the difference. I'm seeing the hidden gift and message on it. Trust me. You go for a walk, something happens. You block the time, you go for a walk, and thinking about it, working, listening to the birds, slowing down the pace you are walking, you will see the results. And finally, your soul, the presence of your soul is always peace. I get it, Ralph. Sometimes it's difficult. Life events, life obligations, the way we speak to ourselves. Instead of difficult, we use challenging. And we see challenge like an invitation. Remember, the way we use languages will hook the meaning, will shift the mind to one place or another. If I say I can't, the mind is already programmed and it will stop the body because it's telling you I can't. If I say why not, the mind will open the windows and say, okay, this is a yellow light. It's not green, it's not red, but let me see. And if I say I will, the mind will find the way. That is a green light. We have to move. Now, the will has to be with sense. The will has to be grounded. We have to be spiritually mature. That will comes from the self, the big self. We align ourselves with the universe, with the self in you, the God in you. We surrender when we don't understand. We stop to repair. We recognize that the mind is limited. The context of life is a journey of evolution, and we are grateful for everything. Let me finish this video with this energy. People ignore this energy, people overlook this energy, but being grateful is the energy. It's like when you are drinking water, you feel it. When you are having a shower, you feel it. When your bed is clean, your house is clean, and you land in the bed, you feel it. When you open a book and you cannot stop reading, you feel it. Now, gratitude, we have to feel it. Gratitude is an energy. It comes straight in our being. Without gratitude, we are going to nowhere. I explain this to everybody I've met. One of the struggles that we go through is not acknowledging that we are not grateful with life. And we pay the price. It's impossible. Don't even try it. To have a peaceful life if you are not grateful. Now, gratitude is not only spelling, gratitude is the energy. You feel it. Why did I give you those examples? Because practicing them is the best time to be grateful. When I'm reading a book, oh wow, thank you, universe, for this moment, for this gift in a form of paper. When I'm drinking water, oh wow, thank you, body, for having access to this. When I get to my bed, oh wow, thank you, God, because I can sleep, I can rest, I can recharge, I can connect to you in silence. So gratitude is a never-ending energy. I have an excuse to be grateful all my life. Grateful because you are listening. Grateful because YouTube is available. Grateful because I am a man. Grateful because I am alive. Grateful because you are alive. It's just the energy that will help you. It will lower down your spectrum and it will amplify the way you understand life. So thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you for existing. Take it slow. Start from the point where you find yourself. This is not a competition. Life is a long journey where we have to tweak, pivot, stop, fall again, stand up. We are evolving the mind. It's a place where it's a perfect life to evolve the mind. The body has its own, the spirit is always life, which is you, and the mind is to evolve. That's the engine that creates, that enlarges the purpose of life. Take very good care. I send you the maximum highest energy of love. May God bless your spirit forever. May the gratitude that is in you emerge and flourish. Have a good day. Comment below if you need anything. I'm also a personal trainer. So if you need any recording that can give you some exercise, some nutritional advice, feel free. I will record a video and I can post anything that you need. Okay? Take care of your emotional balance. It's priceless. Love your soul. You are the energy of love. And thank you very much. Okay?